the volatility is the price you pay for the performance. And if you can't stomach the heat, right, you can't be in the kitchen. So I would rather win in a volatile fashion than lose slowly.
Hello and welcome to the Daily Crypto. This is an exclusive interview with Michael Saylor because since he stepped down as the CEO of Microstrategy, we haven't heard from him publicly. This is going to be very interesting, so make sure to stick around and watch this video till the end.
The facts of the matter are, on August 10th of 2020, we embarked on a Bitcoin strategy. And when we did that, the enterprise value of our software business was about $66 a share. And as I'm speaking with you right now, the stock is trading $329 a share. Our shareholders have made billions of dollars since we started this strategy. No one's lost. If you actually look at the performance of Bitcoin since we actually bought $250 million of it and embarked on a Bitcoin strategy, Bitcoin's up 101%. That's the S&P's up 23%, the Nasdaq's up 15%, gold is down 12%, bonds are down 15%, and silver is down 28%. So in fact, Bitcoin smashed every single asset. The only thing that outperformed Bitcoin in that time period is MicroStrategy stock, up 166%. So we actually performed 1.6x Bitcoin.
In response to a Wall Street article that said Saylor lost billions on Bitcoin, Michael points out that since his company first bought Bitcoin, their share price was $66, and now it's trading at $300 plus. He says no one has lost money. In fact, the shareholders have made billions of dollars off MicroStrategy stocks.
I don't need to be the CEO in order to oversee the Bitcoin side of the business, because I can do that as the chairman of the board and as the chair of the investments committee, where we provide oversight for Bitcoin acquisition, and maybe once a quarter we might do a big deal like borrow 200 million or issue equity or something, or we might buy Bitcoin, but it really is something that can be best supervised at the board level. And the path for Phong to be CEO has been set in stone. Well, it's been set for years and years. He was promoted to Chief Operating Officer in 2018. And he's been the CFO of the company since 2015. So after 2 years as president, it made sense. It's very clear to the shareholders he was the heir apparent. And we hired a new CFO, a full-time CFO, Andrew Kang. He joined in May. And so once Andrew joined as CFO, that cleared the way for Phong to become president and CEO. I have been working with him hands-on to transfer the entire business to him for 7 years. It turns out that in the last 6 weeks, Bitcoin traded down. And when Bitcoin traded down, we ended up taking indefinite intangible charge in our Q2 results. That by the way, it's like a $900 million charge. It was very colorful. I think it was cited by some critical journalist. But we'd already covered 700 million or 750 million of that charge by the time we even reported it. It's just that GAAP accounting doesn't let you write up your assets.
Many people were speculating as to why Michael Saylor has stepped down as the CEO of MicroStrategy. He explains that this was necessary because he wanted to focus solely on the Bitcoin side of the company, which he can do quite easily by being the chairman.
The way to think about investing in Bitcoin is you should only invest what you're going to hold for 4 years or longer. And ideally, it's generational wealth transfer. And then you should dollar cost average into it. And for the average person, if they dollar cost average into it as a strong long-term store of value, they'll be fine. And the metric you ought to stare at is probably rolling the simple 4-year moving average, right? And if you look at the simple moving average over 1,458 days, it very rarely touches that point. It went slightly below it in the depths of the crypto crisis, and now it's trading above it. That number is 22,266. So if you think of that and you say, I know I'm going to hold at least 4 years, then it isn't that anxiety inducing. If you have a short time horizon, like you want to make money in 4 weeks or 4 months, it's going to be much more stressful because it is a volatile asset.
Since Bitcoin is still a relatively new market, it is extremely volatile. That is why Saylor says people should only invest in Bitcoin if they can afford to hold it for at least 4 years, because a long-term approach is less stressful than trying to make money by trading in the short term. Enjoying the interview so far? Take a moment to like this video and subscribe to our channel, because we upload content like this on a daily basis.
The volatility impacts two types of people. It impacts people that are short-term investors, that they want to make a quick buck or they just never want to lose money. And the volatility also impacts public companies or companies that rely heavily on GAAP accounting, because the volatility is detrimental to the accounting treatment because you have to always write it down. You can never write it up. And so you end up with a circumstance where you could be holding $1 billion and it looks like you have $200 million and no one can tell the difference unless they go to the trouble to figure it out themselves, and that's very opaque. So I would say that people that really are fixated upon GAAP optics, right, they'll be a little bit troubled by it, and then people that have very short-term time horizons are troubled. But for the rest of the world, it's a pretty good idea. It's the best. I've just pointed out to you, we've outperformed every asset, every big tech company, every enterprise software company, 97% of all the companies using this strategy. So if the volatility is the price you pay for the performance. And if you can't stomach the heat, right, you can't be in the kitchen. So I would rather win in a volatile fashion than lose slowly in a non-volatile way.
Crypto investors need to familiarize themselves with the volatility spikes, because if they can't, most likely they will end up losing all their money.
Yeah, I mean, if we're talking about what's caused the crypto crash, I think that it was triggered first by the interest rates, right? The tightening of the Fed, and that put pressure on all risk assets from the beginning of the year. And I think the next catalyst was the Terra Luna meltdown, because in essence they had $50 billion worth of Luna and UST backed by $1 billion or $2 billion of real assets. So that was very unstable, and that algorithmic stable coin was just an accident waiting to happen. It's almost like they borrowed $20 billion and agreed to pay 20% interest on it. And they were going to issue equity to pay the interest. So they're going to issue Luna in order to pay 20% interest on UST through that protocol. And that was an accident waiting to happen. There's no way that was sustainable. So that melted down a lot of the cryptos and resulted in the unwinding of the Three Arrows, Voyager, and Celsius bets. And
according to Michael Saylor, the main cause of the crypto crash was the tightening of interest rates by the Fed. When people start struggling to pay their mortgages and other loans, they will have less savings to invest into crypto. All this started to add up, and we saw a huge sell-off, coupled with the Terra Luna collapse, which created a lot of fear in the markets. That will be it for this video. Do you think Michael made the right choice by stepping down as the CEO to focus solely on Bitcoin? Could MicroStrategy be a total failure and go bankrupt? We'd love to hear what you have to say, so let us know in the comments down below.